If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and a high risk for fracture, I can tell you Proly is
This house is cold and empty, just a ghost of who I used to be. Stare at my own reflection, wonder if it even recognize me.
6 million ways to die.
Yeah, well, good morning. Happy Sunday. Get all my knobs twisted, button flipped, and things clicked here. Right. I love these guys with their fire dance and what have you. We used to play drums for the fire dancers in Ren Fair. Amazing. Love it. So I hope everybody's doing well. And if you're not, well, I hope you get better. Alright. Well, I seem to be, as of late, having trouble coming up with ideas for the Open Pagan Church, Coffee with Pegasus, and Live with the Shaman show. Well, look, Michelle did make it. How about that? Bless her heart, Michelle's been having digital chaos this morning. I told her, I said, you know, shamans tend to attract chaos, as it were. So, yeah, like I was saying, I seem to be having problems coming up with ideas for the 3 shows I do each week. So, I am, like always, happy for input. I do recommend, though, that you go to the sites and you take a look. Take a look at the events that we've already had and topics we've already covered. That way, you're not throwing out ideas, going, well, "What about this? We already did that. What about that? We already did this." I'm always open for ideas, and I'll say again, if any of you actually have a topic that you want to discuss that is relatively family friendly, you're welcome. If you have a video cam or a mobile device and you want to do an Open Pagan Church, hit me up. We'll talk about it. I'll tell you how to do it, and I'll sit back and listen to you. Alright, topic this morning is meditation, the pros and cons. Clint kind of threw this idea up to me earlier last week, and I had to think about it. Well, any of us that have been meditating for any length of time, we're quite aware of the pros, the positive aspects, the things that meditation can actually help with. But are any of us aware of the cons? Are there any cons? What are the downsides to meditation? Are there any? Meditation itself? No. This is not a broadcast on how to meditate. This is actually a broadcast on some of the benefits and the stresses or cons that can be built up by, get this, trying to meditate. How many times over the years have you probably heard me talk about the more you try to meditate, the less you're going to be able to meditate. And a lot of people, it kind of fascinates me. They'll contact me and they'll go, I've been trying to meditate for months and it just won't happen. Well, it's because you're trying. Meditation is something that you just do, or you just don't. Meditation is not something that you can force yourself to do. Nowadays, with time management is screwed up like it is, most people don't have time to do much of anything. You know, between, come on, let's face it. We have to spend at least 8 hours a day Facebooking, right? We have to spend at least 8 hours a day tweeting and all of the other social networks that we have to be able to do 8 hours a day. We have to spend 8 hours a day reading email, chatting, PMing on Facebook and all of the other instant messengers that we do. And by all means, let's not forget texting and sexting. Yes, texting and sexting. We have to spend at least 8 hours a day doing that. Well, folks, there's only 24 hours in a day. So if you're spending 8 hours a day doing all this other crap, you're not leaving a whole lot of time for anything else, are you? That ought to say something right there about the con of trying to meditate. You're not giving yourself time. You're not practicing good time management. Now, as long as I can remember, I have taught time management. Back when I was in my 20s and coming off of drugs and alcohol, I even taught time management to the guys who worked under me in the auto parts. And time management is a simple understanding of the task required to be done. You have to have a concept of the tasks that are required to be done. You have to have a concept of how long it's going to take, a realistic concept of how long it's going to take to perform that task. And then you have to get some kind of concept of what type of time span you're willing to allow for each thing throughout the day. Now you may think I'm totally crazy. I probably am totally crazy, but that's beside the point. I have alarms set. I have alarms set on my cell phone. I do. Because I am the world's worst about getting busy on a project and losing track of time. So what I do is, like during the week at work, right? My average work day is from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. So, but I get to work between 5 and 5:15 in the a.m. Monday through Friday. I do that because I like to have time to, 1, not deal with traffic, 2, get coffee made, get my computer up and running, and get comfortable so that I'm not feeling rushed. Last minute crap is one of my great big pet peeves. People that wait till the last minute to get up in the morning are waiting until the last minute to do something. And then they have to jump through their hooey to try to get something done. Well, this same thing runs into pros and cons of meditation. A busy human being today doing the things that we do, we have to get into time management. Like I say, I keep alarms set on my cell phone. I get to work between 5 and 5:15 in the morning. Get everything fired up, turned on, ready to go. And I have an alarm set on my phone for 15 minutes till 7 or a quarter to 7. At a quarter to 7, I clock in, log into the phone queue. That way by 7 o'clock, I'm ready to go to work. I have another alarm set on my cell phone for 5 minutes till 11. 5 minutes till 11, I go to lunch from 11 to 12. At 5 minutes till 11, I get up, I go put my lunch in the microwave, put it on for a minute 30, come back to my desk, organize, finish off a couple of emails, clock out for lunch. Now, the reason I'm telling you all of this is I'm leading up to my daily meditation time. I have a daily meditation time. It is a ritual to me, and it's very important. Generally, what I do is I eat my lunch, takes about 10 or 15 minutes, and if it's too hot outside to go kick back in the truck and just lay back and meditate, take a nap, relax, let my brain chill, let myself relax out, right? I have an alarm set for 10 minutes till 12. 10 minutes till 12, the alarm goes off, pulls me out of meditation, or wakes me up if I happen to go to sleep. Go back in, go potty, wash my hands, get myself ready for the rest of the day. And when I sit down at my computers for the rest of the day, I'm relatively refreshed. And I've had my 15 or 20 minutes of meditation. So the pro of setting yourself alarms throughout the day allow you to be able to get as involved as you need to in the task at hand while still paying attention to the world around you. So if I had to say point blank, one of the biggest cons to trying to meditate is the trying. You're building up stress. Meditation is designed to lower stress. It's designed to keep stress down. And if you have to build up stress to meditate, then I strongly recommend you don't, because it's going to cause more harm than good. So I would have to say, in today's time, the best way to have a good meditation form is to have good time management. Because if you don't have good time management, you're never going to have time to do anything. Hell, throughout the day, I even find time, on occasion, to flip over and see what's going on Facebook. I don't tweet. Just never got into Twitter. So, Twitter feeds I have an email address that catches Twitter. And every once in a while I'll flip over and see if anything's going on that's interesting. Most of the time not, so I just delete it. But I also have four email accounts that I peruse over on a daily basis. Now, my work email has to be number one while I'm at work. So why am I going through all of this time management crap when I'm supposed to be talking about meditation? Well, meditation is a part of time management. If you are stressing out, trying to gather enough time to meditate, then you're stressing out. You're not doing what you need to do, and all you're doing is building more stress, causing a higher momentum of stressful activities, which causes problems. Now, for those of you that didn't have enough time, to watch the broadcast live, you will more than likely have performed a little time management to try to watch the broadcast later once the day is moved on. You can kind of see my point. So you might say, well, Don, with everything I've got to do throughout the day and everything that's going on in my daily life, I just don't have time to meditate. Maybe you don't. But I'll bet you do. Let's see. Let's go through a part of the daily schedule of a 2017 human being. And I'm going to assume worst case scenario. I'm going to assume you have a job, you have kids, you have spouses, you have home responsibilities, and you have family, right? So you get up in the morning at whatever time, and we're going to presume you're one of those individuals that sleeps right up to the dead clock, right up to the clock where when the alarm goes off, if you don't jump up, get ready, out the door, you're late for work. Stress is already building, right? I'm going to be late, I'm going to be late, I'm going to be late. And you're going to run into traffic. Traffic. That thing we all love to hate. The thing that always slaps us the more later we are. Okay. So, we already started our day off stressful. We got up on the bare edge of time. We had to jump in the automobile, get the kids where they had to go, and the school line is longer than we thought because we were 5 minutes longer getting out of the driveway than we thought we would be because we didn't allow for the possibility of traffic. We didn't allow for the possibility of being late. So, what you got? Your day is already stressful and you've only been up for an hour. Not even an hour. Alright, got the kids where they're supposed to go. Rush. We're going to work. We got to swing by the coffee shop. We got to get some coffee. Rush. We're running late. And holy shit, there's an accident on the freeway. Well, now you got road rage. To hell with meditation. You couldn't meditate right now if somebody hit you in the head with a 2x4. Well, we got the stress of getting the kids where they needed to go late. There was traffic. There was an accident. Now I'm, an hour late for work? The boss is sitting there going, because the boss is stressed. You're stressed. Everybody's stressed. And your entire day started out shitty. Camille says, what if I keep road rage? Can't help you there, sweetheart. I have to deal with my own road rage. But I figured out many years ago some of the following aspects in time management that can definitely allow for you a better day. Okay? You ready for this? You're not gonna like it. Ready? Get your butt out of bed 30 minutes earlier. Yep. By getting out of bed 30 minutes earlier each day. And oh, the kids that overslept that morning, you wouldn't have to worry about them if you had gotten up 30 minutes earlier, gone out, made sure the kids are up, takes 5 minutes, throw frozen marbles in the bed with the kids if you want, that'll get them up, get them going, took 5 minutes. Go back, get yourself ready, however you get yourself ready. Take a deep breath, stop, and chill. Now, a 60-second meditation can make all the difference in the world. And some of you might be asking, what the hell is a 60-second meditation? Really? 60-second meditation, right? Got it? Do that for 60 seconds while you're getting ready. Stop. What's the magic word? What's the power word? Stop. Stop the momentum. Okay? If you've already started your day out with a momentum of stop. You're getting dressed, you're putting your clothes on. If you're the person that wears makeup, whatever, get your makeup on. But stand there for 60 seconds and just breathe slow. Just clear your mind and take 60 seconds to breathe. I do mine in the morning when I get in my truck. I always like to start the truck and at least let the truck run for 1 minute before I put it in gear and take off like a bat out of hell. It's better for the motor that way. So I take that 1 minute to just breathe. I just breathe for a minute. Got the phone in the cradle where it needs to be. I've got my headset on. If the air conditioner is working, the air conditioner is on. If not, I got the windows down. Just take that 60 seconds to focus. And if you got a bunch of kids in the back doing yammy, 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 well, just hang on a second. If you had done that 60 seconds before you ever came out of the bedroom to crack the whip and get the kids in the vehicle, you'd be a lot better off. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to motor on down. We're going to take the kids where they need to go. Okay, now we're still assuming worst case scenario, okay? So you got up 30 minutes early, which means you want to try to be out of the house 20 minutes earlier than normal, okay? So this gives you 20 extra minutes on the roadway, right? Time management. Giving yourself more time to do the things that you need to do. Okay? Now, we get the kids where they need to go. We were 20 minutes earlier, so we missed the last minuters getting the kids to school. How about that shit? All right. Got the kid in the school. Everything's happy. We take another minute. 30 seconds even. Just breathe. Focus. Get ready for that trip for the day. Either, whether you go back home and you work from home, or you have to drive an hour to work like a lot of people do these days. That's okay. Take that minute and breathe before you go. If you got these ding-dong twits sitting behind you going, Okay. Pull up a little bit before you take the minute and give these ding-dong twits a chance to get around you. Now, we're still in time management. Okay? We're still in time management. So, we've taken the time and we breathe for just 15 or 20 seconds. Alright? And Camille says if I'm 15 minutes early, I'm late. I get it. I understand. But if you're building up all of this stress, okay, just trying to get ready. I saw earlier where someone posted con to medication is if you have health issues. I'm going to cover those here right after this first break. I'm going to get into the health issues. Right now I'm looking at time management. Okay? Excuse me. Time management is very, very important. Right? And if you're like myself, Camille, Jennifer, and probably a couple of more, you hate to be late. So, like the little bunny rabbit, I'm late for a very important date. Woohoo! Building stress. You're building that stress as you're coming along. Gotta stop. Gotta stop. So we're still in this scenario. I'm going to finish it before I take my 10 a.m. break. Right? We're still in this scenario. We got the kids to the school. We took about 15 or 20 seconds just to breathe. And we're off. Headed for work. Oh boy. Now, for myself, I hit Highway 75. We're not even going to talk about the stops and the distances and the idiots that I have to deal with at red lights between where we live and Highway 75 just to start the freeway trek at 75 miles an hour going south to where I work. Okay? But I have found, get this, I have found that if I get up at 4:30, I know, 4:30 a.m., it's okay. If I get up at 4:30, I eat breakfast. I'm generally, with my wife's help, I'm generally out of the house by 10 minutes till 5 or 4:45. Now that leaves me time to get gas if I have to, or just hit the freeway. Now when I hit the freeway, most of the time, at that time of the morning, I can kick back, set my cruise control at 75, and just boogie on. There's a few people out there and a couple of dummies that like to do 50 miles an hour in the fast lane, but that's okay. They don't bother me. I've got plenty of time to just move over and just go on around them. Boogie on. My commute to work, get ready for this, because I get up at 4:30 instead of 5, okay, because I get out of here at 4:45 instead of 5:15, I only spend 25 minutes on my commute to work. 25 minutes. If I leave here at 5:15, it takes me 40 minutes to get to work. A bit more gas and a whole lot more stress and just about ready to kill people. So by the time I get to work, my stress levels are way the hell up here. By leaving early, I don't deal with that. By getting to work earlier, I'm able to muddle around, take my time, get my coffee, go potty, get the computers up and running, get them ready to go, get logged in. All of my applications are up and running. I'm ready to go to work and I'm relaxed by the time the first call comes in. And then, like I say, my alarm is set for lunch. So I generally take 15 minutes of my lunch to meditate, kick back, and to chill. So the con to time management, the con to meditation is the stress being built up to try to meditate, because you're not time managing your day. You're allowing your day to time manage you. Now, yes, crap happens, okay? It happens. You go out, you got a flat tire. You go out, the battery's dead. You go to leave the house and you forgot your ass, so you have to go back in the house 3 or 4 times, and by this time you're in a rush, you think you're running late because you got up with 5 minutes to spare, or you got up dead on time, or you woke up late to begin with. Now you're rushing, you forgot a bunch of stuff, so you're running in and out of the house, and you forget to lock the house. Dang it. Now you got to turn around, because we live in a pack of thieves. Now you got to turn around and go back and lock the house. So by the time you ever get on the road, you're damn stressed out. You don't know which way to turn. So how are you going to meditate? Right. Time management. If you want to get with me after the broadcast or later sometime, PM me. I'm happy to give you some time management tips. For now, we are dead up on the hour. Time for our first break. I'm going to let you guys watch a little bit more of these wonderful flame dancers over here. Let my voice rest. Take a pause for the cause. When we get back, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of meditating with health issues, major health issues. We'll see you back here in a couple of minutes.
If someone would have told me 6 years ago that the little one-page blog I built would be responsible for generating me
We'll go back to him next break. He's good. Damn, he's good. Right. All right. So I've been reading through some of the comments. And reading through some of the comments, I want to hit some highlights here. Jennifer says, you're totally right. Making time for you, or you can't take care. You can't, I think she's trying to say you can't take care of anyone else if you don't make time for yourself. You're absolutely right. Robert says, bless his heart, gotta love Robert. Covered with mosquito bites, head to toe, scrapes and scratches all over me. Spent days off on meditation in the woods. Absolutely love it. Actually physically exhausted, but really ready for a good day of sleep. Now, that is something that people need to think about. I will generally take a half a day or 3/4 of a day a month and just sleep until I wake up. Now that is good for the body, but for me it sucks for my attitude, because when I get up I'm usually pissed because I've wasted the entire freaking day of sleep when I knew I had other things I needed to do. So even though body is rested, my mind and my psyche are ripping me apart because I feel guilty because I slept all day. This is a real good one to touch on. Michelle is a newly dedicated first year. She just dedicated over to the GCS, so she's literally in her first trimester. Now, this is a sign of somebody that really listens to their teacher. Today started out stressful, and it started out on a downward spiral. I sat down and yelled, "Stop!" That seemed to get me back on track. So, what have I always said the power word is? Stop. When shit's going wrong and things are in a chaotic, complete and utter hizzy, stop. Well, this is the part that I want to cover in this segment. Cindy says, cons of meditations is medical trouble, medical issues. Well, let's spend a little time talking about medical issues. Unfortunately, society today, per capita, we have more illnesses, people that live in chronic pain on a daily basis, more than we ever have in the history of mankind. Whether it's due to the stressful world that we live in, the chemicals that are in our food, the chemicals that we ingest on a daily basis, just trying to eat and stay healthy. The air that we breathe is full of petrochemicals and shit like that. So things like fibromyalgia, things like hell, my mind just went blank. All of the diseases, the society diseases that we have today, most are caused, best my perception anyway, are caused by the chemicals that we ingest on a daily basis that the body is incapable of breaking down. Okay? We have become such a society of germaphobes that so many people will not allow their kids near or around any types of germs. Well, okay, I get it. I don't like to see my kids sick either, but we have to allow our children to be able to form immunities to certain diseases. The common cold, the flu, what have you. I get it. The flu out there today is killing kids. I definitely, well, my job requires it. I get my flu shot. I like for my daughter to have her flu shot. Unfortunately, My wife has issues with the flu shot, so she doesn't always get her flu shot, and she ends up down sometimes 1 week out of the year with the flu. Immune diseases, immunity diseases. That's the word I was trying to think of earlier. Thanks, Michelle, for posting that. You know, my wife has several immunity diseases that, bless her heart, somebody can walk by and sneeze, and she's pretty well got whatever they've got. And we all go through that. But with medical issues, how can we calm the body down? And how can we meditate when we live in a constant state of pain? Well, medication's not going to do it. Medication for meditation is not going to work. Camille says she grew up in the mud and the dirt and the mud and the muck. She actually did. And it didn't help. But still, it comes down to foods that our parents consumed, foods and chemicals and petrochemicals that we consumed as children, irregardless of how much our parents tried. I mean, if you eat hamburger meat, you're eating chemicals and petrochemicals and fillers that are in the hamburger meat. There's no way around it, but that's a topic for another show. This one, though, the question was meditation while on illnesses, when you're ill, when you don't feel good, when you hurt. Well, Cindy gets in the bathtub. I know that Camille can take a 4-hour bath. Hell, if I'm in the shower more than 20 minutes, I begin to wrinkle up and look like I'm 400 years old. I don't know how these people sit in a freaking bathtub for several hours and not wrinkle up to nothing. But if that's what it takes, now, hear me out through this, all right? Especially those of you that live in chronic pain. Now, I live in pain on a daily basis with my teeth and gums and my mouth, all right? Back it's just there, and knees, well, we're not even going to talk about them. But as you gain control over your breathing, over your focus, your mind is the strongest part of your entire body. Now, I get it. I've been in pain so bad that I just laid in bed and cried because my mouth hurt so bad that I couldn't even breathe. But if you can get past that threshold, if you can get past the threshold of being able to focus past the pain. Now, do not try to do this. Again, the very word try is to build stress, right? Focus past the pain. If you need to get in a hot bath to do this, this is fine. Me personally, I like to be in a nice, cool, dry place. To me, if a room is 65 to 70 degrees and it's really quiet, maybe just the sound of a fan or something like that running, I can internalize my focus, get past whatever pains I'm experiencing, and focus into a meditation. The con to that is sometimes it can take 30 or 45 minutes of breathing and focus just to get past the pain. The key here is not to allow yourself to become angry, agitated, or upset because of the pain. That is the worst thing that you can do. Also, follow some of the ideas that some of the folk are posting over in the chat area. Read through what they've posted. Give them some ideas. You know, it'll give you some ideas. You know, there's things over like illnesses, colds, sinus infections. You know, Michelle says meditation does help for her. Absolutely. You know, there's a number of the guys that watch these videos live, these presentations live, that live with chronic pain on a daily basis. And what I teach to get past that is a simple form of breathing, very slow, very methodic breathing. And I know this is going to sound really weird, but I don't like to listen to music when I meditate. And some will say, well, I can't meditate without music. Actually, you can. You learn how to meditate in stages, okay? Trying to meditate sets you up for fail. You just simply sit and you focus. And people say, I can't shut my head down to meditate. That's okay. Don't try to shut your head down. Getting used to meditation and learning how to meditate is to give your head time to clear. How do you do that? Well, what I do is I kick back. Sometimes I like to kick back here in the office with the sounds of my air conditioner, the sounds of my servers in the background. The hum is very mesmerizing for me. I'll kick back here in my office chair. And I do this all the time before I put on a broadcast. I try to come back here 45 minutes to an hour prior to the broadcast, run some emails, take a look at Facebook, chill for a little bit, get past the day, get around the day, and I'll kick back and let my head go. And a lot of times, I will tell myself, hey, here we go, I will tell myself, okay, mind, hit me with your best shot. Run through everything you think you want to run through, because I'm not going to try to meditate. I'm going to very slowly bring my focus together on the things that my mind thinks it needs to think about. And I'm just going to let it go. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to very slowly take control over what my mind is allowed to focus on. Does it happen immediately? No, it does not. Is it something you can just sit down and do at the drop of a hat? No, it is not. It requires practice. It requires time. And it requires the ability to kick back, put your feet up just a little bit, get a good stretch, breathe. I like to cross my hands on my belly, kick my head back, close my eyes, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, just nice and slow. And I allow my vision behind my eyelids to just see all of the flip-flops and the rolling of the videos and the different things that my mind wants to work on at the time. And then I just very slowly start to bring that focus together and gain control over what my mind is thinking. Then, after a little bit, I find that when a blip comes up, I can go, not important, not important, not important, or that's for later. We'll put that over here. Or, where the hell did that come from? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Blip. And I can eventually just thump away all of the little thoughts and the crap and the stresses and the anxieties that are keeping me from meditating. And before I know it, I am actually in a full meditative state, either in the astral talking to the masters or talking to someone that I'd like to see and talk to in the astral, or I am doing an out-of-body experience where I am projecting my spirit to somewhere else to see something else. And I've learned over time that, say, during the day at work, when my alarm goes off at 10 minutes to 12, I'm able to, inside of about 10 seconds or so, pull my spirit back in, come out of the astral, thank you very much, pull back into myself, take a deep breath, reach up, kill the alarm, sit myself up in the truck, or sit myself up from in here if I'm in here, and allow myself to regain awakened focus. Now, I will tell you this, and this is something that you all need to think about. You with health issues, with chronic pain issues, getting comfortable during meditation, one of the cons to trying to meditate is trying to make yourself comfortable to do so. Okay, you don't have to have your eyes closed to meditate. You don't have to be in a catatonic state to meditate. You don't have to be in a bed, lying down, whatever, to meditate. You can have the television on, and some people like to crochet or knit. Okay, I know that Debbie from Scotland likes to crochet and knit a lot. She does damn good work. But that is a form of meditation. Putting your hands busy, getting your hands busy doing something, doing what they call light reading. Okay, reading something if you like to read. Me, I don't necessarily like to read because my reading comprehension sucks. So, to unwind, generally what I will do is just let my mind float. Okay? Just let it go somewhere. This is not something that you can do, just sit down and decide to do it. It does take practice. It does not take trying to do it. If you're trying to do it, you're building up stress by trying to do something. You have to allow it to happen. Michelle says listening to music calms me down. That's okay. If you're trying to calm down and unwind, that's different from meditation. I'll say that again. Unwinding and calming down is different from meditation. I have found through years of study that if you meditate with music, you're not getting a good meditation, because that music is getting into your head, shutting down parts of your psyche that need to be worked on to achieve a good, solid meditation. Any meditation master will tell you that you first have to get through the daily mud and the daily crap to be able to meditate effectively and get within yourself and do what needs to be done. Now, YouTube is full of meditation music. That's fine. They're full of metronomes. Metronomes, they say, are good for meditation. The problem I have with music and metronomes is it does get into the head. I have found through many years of trial and error that the best way to meditate is a quiet place, or a place with a hum. Okay? A place with a hum. Michelle says, I can't meditate to music. It's distracting. Absolutely. Need quiet. Now, here's a con to needing quiet. Here is a con to needing quiet to meditate. No, you don't. You don't have to have it quiet to meditate. You don't have to have music to meditate. Your mind, through training, can blend in what it calls white noise. White noise. White noise is a fan, a hum of a motor. Those of you that might live in cities with, those of you that live in cities with a lot of noise, allow that noise to become white noise. Eventually, the white noise will simply sound like, see if I can do this. If you could hear that, that sounds like radio interference. White noise becomes just like radio interference. And you don't have to try to meditate. It just happens. So let's kind of recap. I do that a lot. Meditate best when I drive. Well, I wasn't going to really actually bring that up, because if you're not able to split the spirit from the self when you're driving, you'll get hurt. When I meditate while driving, I allow the physical self, the conscious self, to function, operate, work the vehicle, good reaction times, do what needs to be done, and I let my spirit just kind of wander off and do the things that it needs to do. That's not something that I'm ever going to tell anyone to do, is meditate while you drive, because quite frankly it can be dangerous. They do sell white noise machines. The problem I have with white noise machines, I had one for a while. I thought I liked it. I found, though, the more I used it, the artificial white noise, if you will, got into my head. It got into my sleep because it was too repetitious. That's the problem I have with metronomes. Metronomes are too repetitious. Like you get the tick-tock metronome going of a clock. That will drive me star-craving bananas. Is a clock ticking while I'm trying to sleep or meditate. White noise machines, I've never liked. I thought I liked it for a while. I tried it for about a year, really. And the waves, the oceans. I mean, I grew up down south where, down close to Galveston, and we went to Galveston all the time. Spent the night on the beach. Put a mosquito net over whatever you're sleeping in. If you don't, the mosquitoes in Galveston will hurt you. Um, I used to sleep all the time on the beach. Did some of my best meditation on the beach. But waves are not repetitious. Every wave has a slightly different sound from another wave. You get that? Okay? So, white noise machines are okay, but the best form of meditation is in your natural surroundings with your natural noises and things that your mind is used to. Okay? We're 30 minutes past the hour. I'm going to take one more pause for the calls. It'll be just probably a couple of minutes. We're going to come back and wrap up the pros and cons of meditation. We all know the pros. We're mostly talking about the cons of people trying to meditate and the stresses that it builds, right? So we'll see you right back here in just a minute. We're going to watch a little more of these guys playing with their fireballs and what have you. Be back shortly. All right. I posted that link to those videos there in the chat area. I like to do that. Give a little plug to the people that post their videos on YouTube. Somebody in OPC says white noise drives me nuts. Well, there is that, yeah. Speaking of the fire dancers, when I was traveling the Ren Fair, they tried a couple of times to teach me the fire dancing. And you have to understand, I studied years of martial arts, different forms, but I never could get the nunchucks, and you got to be pretty good with nunchucks to be able to fire dance with the fire chains. Never could get nunchucks. Tri-staff I was good at. Swords and what have you I was always real good at. But man, nunchucks, I'd beat myself to death. And of course, luckily the fireballs and stuff that they had me practicing with were not lit. That's probably a good thing. Because I wouldn't have had any hair, or wouldn't have had a couple of other things. Yeah. Tried it several times. Never did get it. Didn't work. So, anyway. So we're going to finish up now with pros and cons of meditation. And I want to finish up with some ideas of things that you guys that have major issues meditating, you might be able to get around. Drums are good. Drums are good. I tend to take very major flight when I'm playing on drums, but even that is not necessarily meditation, because I'm working on the rhythm, and to me that's not meditation. To me that's just taking a mental trip, gone, not here, nope, not on this planet. Let's end with meditation. Meditation is the ability to slow the mind down, to internalize positive thought processes, and to get rid of negative thought processes. We all know that negative thought processes feed negative energy, and negative energy feeds negative thought processes. Only you can break that momentum of negative energy and negative thought processes, right? How do I do that? Well, you do it by being conscious, conscious of the world around you. If you have someone around you that's just all they ever do is bitch and gripe and piss and moan and complain and blah 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 blah, and all they do is feed you with negative thoughts and negative emotions. Sometimes if those individuals are family and we can't get away from them, then all we can do is try to get past it and work with it as best we can. But if you can, from time to time, get away from the situation and allow yourself to build and rebuild and internalize some positive energy and positive thoughts, right? Remember, the con or the problems with trying to meditate is if you are trying to do something, you're building up stress to do so. The definition of trying is making an attempt to achieve something, to achieve an outcome, or trying to go somewhere, or trying to do something, or trying to get this done, or I'm trying to fix that. So you're building up stress while doing so. Gaining focus is what you should be doing when you're working on meditation. Because you're not going to try to meditate. The harder you try to meditate, the less you will achieve meditation. Okay? You want to gain focus. And if you allow yourself to gain focus, you will. You'll be able to gain that focus over time, and it does require practice, and it does require good time management. I say again, it does require good time management. So when you're going forward and you're working on your meditation, and you're learning how to get within yourself, and sometimes it's good not to meditate, but to do what I call a mind dump. A mind dump. Not a mind purge. We don't purge nothing. Yeah. We do a mind dump. Sit back, get comfortable, close your eyes, breathe like you're going to slide into meditation, but open the floodgates of your brain. Open the floodgates of your brain. Start off small, and then as you can accept it, open that floodgate up to the point where it's completely open, and allow your mind just to go. Okay? And have just enough conscious control to say, no, that perception is not real. That thought is brought on by fear, anxieties, or jealousy, or problems with another situation, and thump it away. For the first little while I was trying to do that, I found myself physically reaching up and going, piss off. Go away. I don't need that. That's not real. That is a perception of an event that didn't happen. And what's worse than that is a perception of an event that hasn't even happened yet, that the fears of my mind are causing me to see it in a negative view. Clint says, I have a new term for focus. Find open contentment under stress. I don't get it. Better explain, please. But it's time for us to go, folks. Time for us to go get ready for our broadcast on UnitedPaganRadio.net. Hope to see you there. And hope to see you later this evening at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time for Live with a Shaman. But for right now, take a break, take a pause for the cause, get your computers, mobile devices, or whatever set up on PaganRadio.net. Hope to see you there. Enjoy your week. Thank you for watching. We look forward to your comments. Feel free to PM me with any questions that you may have. Be glad to answer them. Have a great day. We'll see you next week here on Open Pagan.